one of my great fears is that Jeremy Corbyn will become Prime Minister, but one of my great fears is that he won't. And then a whole generation of people on the left will have learnt that the enemy of socialism is the Zionists. And the thing standing between us and a Corbyn government turned out to be Zionism. And so we're looking at the re-education of a whole layer of people on the left to understand this is an old, emotional way of thinking about the world. Jeremy Corbyn was paid $27,000 over 3 years by the Iranian regime to front its propaganda channel in English. I need to tell you that one thing, and you will say he can do what he likes, but he shouldn't be leader of the Labour Party, and he shouldn't be Prime Minister of Britain. How is it possible for Corbyn to believe that Iran, Putin, Hamas, Hezbollah are in some sense progressive, dedicated to peace and justice around the world? How is that possible? The reason Judith Butler and Jeremy Corbyn believe that is because they divide the world into two. And they say the world is divided between imperialism and anti-imperialism. And what they mean by imperialism are the democratic states, fundamentally of Europe and the United States. And what they mean by anti-imperialism is everybody who's against Europe and America. Why does Israel get positioned and constructed and raced as being at the keystone of that global system of imperialism? It's a totalitarian worldview. It's a worldview which constructs you as essentially part of a power structure over which you have no control.
Since the advent of Jeremy Corbyn to the leadership of the opposition in 2016, we have seen in this country, in a way that is unprecedented in my lifetime, a discourse that is rampant across social media, where, of course, something can go viral with one click, of not only very blatantly, I would say, bigoted anti-Israel discourse, but it has absolutely morphed into anti-Semitism. And these ideological reference points are very dangerous. They are hostile to the sort of Western liberal democratic values that we're used to, and they certainly pose a threat to our community. What the Jeremy Corbyn is trying to do with the party at the moment is do what a far-left group wants to do, and that is take all the levers of power and marginalise anyone who opposes. And they're achieving it. So already we've got a state of affairs whereby the Labour Party is not run by Labour members of Parliament. The reason Jeremy Corbyn was elected is that he's elected by the members of the party who only had to pay £3 to become members of the party. And the Labour MPs do not support Jeremy Corbyn in the main. They don't support him, but they're stuck with him, and most of them oppose him. So we're in for this until Labour can rediscover what I believe to be its true social democratic and tolerant backgrounds and its opposition to racism. And right now, I'm sorry to tell you, Labour is the home of too much racism by this far-left grouping that is very active on social media. And I've tried debating with Jeremy Corbyn, and it's very difficult. He can't debate, doesn't debate, and it's a problem.
Anti-Semitism has two sides to the equation. One is what you do, but the other is what others feel about you. Notwithstanding what you do, the other may feel about you. So when my friend Barnett Rubin, who is an historian of Afghanistan and Pakistan, comes back to me and said, I'm amazed when I travel in Pakistan when I see signs, Jews out. He said, never saw a Jew in their lives. How can it be the Jews out? He said, that doesn't mean anything. There is something there that will exist or has been in existence for quite some time. But that is a different story when I'm describing the phenomena as we should treat it in terms of the responses. Describing the Israeli action as something which is genocidal. Basically undermining the very moral fabric of the State of Israel as justifying the delegitimation of the Jews, including Jewish power. When Mr. Corbyn said that Hamas and Hezbollah are our best freedom friends, it's of course the case that Israel is a criminal state and adopting the other criminals as a way of Israel, undoubtedly. And that is kind of giving license to all kind of theories. Jewish power is those Jews who are supporting an apartheid state. Those Jews are supporting Israel, are taking themselves away from the liberal creed of America, and they themselves should be the target. That's the language of the left. This type of anti-Semitism is therefore definitely related to Israel, even though Israel may be doing certain things which could be debatable in Israel and outside Israel. But it's certainly this type of legitimation is targeting the diaspora. The diaspora has become what I call the soft belly of Israeli security. In that case, this is the Israelization of anti-Semitism. This, I think, trajectory will continue, and the subject matter will be much more related to Israel, and the story will be mostly related to negating the past.